Yo, what is crack-a-lackin' everybody? Caveman Jack back for another reaction/review, and we are back live from the studio. Yo, hopefully everybody is having a fantastic week. Super excited because this is a band I know nothing about, like absolutely nothing. Well, I know one thing. I've been listening to the Gorillaz on the channel for the first time. I've listened to both Demon Days and Plastic Beach, and one of the influential band members, the lead singer on that band, Damon Albarn. I've loved their music. I've loved the sound that they've produced. It's been so trippy and just a lot of fun. The beats, the electronic sounds have been fantastic. But the one thing I know about this band we're listening to today is this was his previous band, B.L.U.R.E.M.I. Now, a couple of you guys, I really appreciate your patience on this one. This is one that has been recommended for quite some time, and I'm really pumped to check it out. I'm checking out the album 13. I don't really know what else to say. I don't really know what type of sound it is. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to get into it. So let's begin. This is 13. 13 is actually my favorite number, so yeah.
Tender is the night, lying by your side. Tender is the touch of someone that you love too much. Come on, come on, come on, get through it. Come on, come on, come on. Love's the greatest thing. Come on, come on, come on. I'm waiting for that feeling. I'm waiting for that feeling. Waiting for that feeling to come.
It's almost like Gorillaz crossed with Oasis a lot.
Tender is my heart. I'm screwing up my life. Lord, I need to find someone who can heal my mind. Waiting for that feeling. Waiting for that
Yeah, pretty long song, so let's see where it goes.
Love's the greatest thing that we have. I'm waiting for that feeling. I'm waiting for that feeling.
Oh my baby, like. Oh my baby, like. Over 7.5 minutes for the intro song there. And like I said earlier, it was like a combination of Gorillaz and Oasis, I thought. That kind of progression felt very Oasis-like. It was quite repetitive. There wasn't a lot of huge depths that the song seemed to go into. It's hella catchy, man. Like, I was singing it. By the third chorus, I think it goes through the chorus like 4 or 5 times. I was singing it. And the way it progresses in the chorus is good. I like the kind of higher-pitched line, and then it kind of goes into that deeper, "There's the greatest thing that we have," and then back into the thing. We've got the kind of like choir-esque sound in the background, kind of harmonizing with Damon. Huge shift. Completely different sound, it seems. Super saturated guitar, giving me that kind of Nirvana kind of vibes. such a loud mix, like so loud, quite chaotic, isn't it? Damn, man, that was so wild. That's good. Wow, yeah. Feels very Gorillaz now, doesn't it? What the heck was Bugman? What a wild ride that was. Not really my sound, I can't lie. The super saturated guitar, the super saturated mix for a good chunk of that song was so chaotic and it was so jarring. I was not expecting any of that. Like to go from like Tender, to go from Tender to Bugman is such a huge leap. Such a, wow, respect. Respect. They literally jumped from what was really soft, warm sounding Tender to Bugman, which was just balls to the wall. Just like parts of that song gave me Endless Nameless vibes from Nevermind by Nirvana. More so the bit in the middle there where it kind of just went crazy and we didn't know what was happening. It's got that kind of grungier rock sound to it. It's not quite grungy, but... And then we go to this. So...
Do you feel like a chain store? Practically floored. One of many zeros kicked around board. So give me coffee and TV. History. I've seen so much, I'm going blind and I'm brain dead virtually. Do you go to the country? It isn't very far. I've seen so much.
lyrics are quite dark on this song.
Blind and I'm brain dead virtually.
There's a band in Australia called Lime Cordiale, which is giving me this kind of vibe. Only real sound I think I can compare it to that I know personally. Tricky song. Some of the best parts of music is surprises. And this album so far has been a surprise. Each time that I think perhaps this is the sound they're going for, they jump again and they shift it. This was a little bit more similar to Tender. Lyrics were quite dark on this one. If you guys have any further notes you can make on that song, what is Coffee and TV actually about? Yeah, there's a band called Lime Cordiale. Some of you might know who they are. They are like a Australian alternative band does like poppy light kind of songs, and that instrumental and the way it was sung felt very much like that band. Interesting, and that nice bit at the end was beautiful. I mean, that was so soothing.
Give me good times. Give me outside. Give me space brain. Give me music every row. Waka waka.
Swamp Song, I don't know, didn't really hook me in. It's not really my sound per se, but it's also, this kind of music is something I haven't really listened to a lot of. For that song, it felt like the progression was fairly straightforward, which enabled you to kind of follow it pretty easily. Feels very much like Gorillaz without that electronic influence as much. You hear little slight nuances that feel like, okay, that sounds very similar, but it's much more rocky and much more instrument based. It seems you're getting a lot more guitars here. They're quite long songs as well. They give themselves space to breathe.
Going into business,
Like that.
an agreement of your bombast. You love my bed, you took the other instead.
I like how he goes in this low vocal kind of range.
My bed.
The constant strumming on this song, quirky guitar riffs, the effects on the guitar. Oh, I like that. I like this song. Super atmospheric. Whistling in the back. Just the really subtle singing there, harmonizing. Great use of placement of the instruments here. It's just like surrounding you in a really engaging way. It's quite easy to lose yourself in songs like this because it's just so captivating. Quite dark sounds on this album, and when it's not dark sounds, it's dark lyricism. What is that noise, man? Oh, that's a point. Not like that. Bring it all back. Bring it all back. Bring it. I'm quite lost. This is the same song. What the hell? What the hell, man? This is the same song. I like this a lot. This bit here, beautiful. Very beautiful. Don't know how I felt about that first section of the song. Didn't really like that. I didn't really. I was like, ugh, what is that noise? Abstract sounds. My brain is trying to wrap my head around it. So a lot of them are just flying by and I'm not really being able to actively follow them. So credit to Blur for literally throwing me upside down and me trying to regain balance that whole song. So, and for a large chunk of these songs, it's been really interesting. Another 7-minute song. So, it will be interesting. Quite eerie. I love that spaced out beat. but such a great blend of feeling demo-esque, but so mastered as well. It's such a... I like this song a lot, man. Oh, just beautiful. It's just drawing everything down. So rich, man. This is sick, man. A bunch of their songs, they just stop about the minutes ago and then they just play this incredible outro, sometimes relating to the song, quite often just this separate sound, a separate collection of sounds. It's so fascinating. I think that was probably my favorite song on the album. This album so far is such a hybrid of sounds. It doesn't feel very cohesive in sound, which, for better and for worse, this album doesn't feel as jarring as something as, say, Amnesiac or Kid A. I definitely feel like there are elements that are quite sporadic and throw you off course, but definitely never to those extremes. That song there gave us more electronic, long-winded notes. 13, like the album cover, what does the album cover represent? This album is this album is an enigma to me. Prior to listening to it and going through it, it remains an enigma. It's quite a journey, and interesting. Let's keep it going. Hey, mellow, stay mellow.
I lift my street, I'm a guillotine. Pull it away.
Now I'm feeling a little bit of Nirvana vibes as well. The way he's singing it.
Where have I been now? 'Cause I lift my street, I'm a guillotine. Pull it away in my machine. Forget where I've been, I forget you.
That synth sounds like an almost slightly off-key kind of flute-esque sound. I like that one. I like Mellow Song. It was slowish, which I kind of like. I like those slower songs. I just naturally do. And you get to hear his voice. Damon's got a really good voice, and he goes in that lower register there, which like I said earlier, I really enjoy. So yeah, interesting song. Again, some strange sounds that are flying around, but it feels imperfect, which gives it this raw feel to it. Just like his other projects with the Gorillaz, it's almost like a new genre each song. Very cool. Very well done. That's talent, man. That's talent. I love this kind of western country feel to it. Real kind of like, just like TrailerPark. Feels like you're just driving on these long-winded roads in this big-ass truck. And it's just desert around you. It's a nice little shift there. Damon is the master of just seamless transitions mid-song, isn't he? They love their 7-minute songs, B.L.U.R.E., don't they? That's 3 now.
find genius. Gotta get better.
It's got that dope lemon feel to it. Another Australian artist. Subtle, really rich sounds. Like, there's not a lot of them, but they're really rich. Okay, we're building up. Unsettling, man. A bit anxiety inducing, I can't lie. Just like heightens your senses a lot. Caramel. Everything's kind of disappearing. No. Again, another like post-song outro that's just so unique, and this one feels almost like a vintage carnival. What the hell? Caramel Man. Woo. That was a journey of a song, that one. It was a ride. It was a ride, that's for sure. Over 7 minutes again. I thought the first quarter of it very dope lemon-esque. Like I said, Australian artist. It has that similar soft sound. That there's not a lot of huge instrumentation happening, but it's really rich, the instrumentation that is presented. And I thought the first half of that song was very similar. I really loved it. Second half, wow, I got lost in it. Was quite unsettling. Felt quite anxious hearing it. It was a lot of sporadic noises, and it was quite saturated, but also overlapping. A lot was happening. It was quite full, the mix. Each song is significantly long and gives itself room to breathe and you to fall into each song. One thing that is consistent in this album is that you are constantly on your toes. So I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting the casual strumming of the guitar to come in. I can't lie.
I got no style. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I got Trimm Trabb at the Flesh Boy's hand, and I can't go back. Let it flow, let it flow. It's just the way it is, just the way it is, just the way it is, just the way it is.
There's a lot of points where he has this overlapping vocal that he does, where he has his low register and his high pitch that blend on each other, and I've noticed it on a lot of the Gorillaz songs and a bunch of these songs as well. Man. I don't think I'm a huge fan of the saturated guitar in the back that's just been playing throughout.
It's over. You don't need to tell me. I hope you with someone who makes makes you feel safe when you're sleeping tonight. I got no distance left to run. When you see me, please turn your back and walk away.
It's a nice little ballad piece. It's nice.
Coming home.
Just a really nice song. Soft, subtle. Yeah, moving piece. It's good. This is the most Damon Albarn album ever. Like, it just is. It's quite dreamy, quite airy, but still eerie. Like, you know, like not completely clear. This has been 13 by B.L.U.R.E.M.I. 13 by B.L.U.R.E.M.I. Yeah. Wow. Where the heck do you even start with an album like that? Starting with Tender and ending with Optigan 1. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I really had no idea what type of sound Blur created. I should have known that having Damon Albarn being on it and being the front man, that he would have a lot of the influences that I had kind of experienced with the Gorillaz on this album. And there was a lot of that, especially in the middle point of that album. This album tripped me out in a lot of ways because every time I thought I had an understanding of what the genre was being said as, it flipped itself on its own head, and we had some really wild and quirky sounds throughout this project. You know, it was quite notable that there were points that really connected with me and points that probably I really didn't connect with. There's probably only a couple of songs that I really didn't vibe with. Swamp Song, B.L.U.R.E.M.I, and Trimm Trabb. But the rest of the songs and those songs had little points that were enticing, but for the most part, they didn't really hook me. Tender was such an interesting way to start the album. It's the first time I'm hearing Blur, and I'm getting this 7-minute long, what felt pretty simple in terms of sound. The lyrics and chorus and verses were repeated over and over. So it was this wild one. I was like, okay, is it just fairly simple, the music we're going to get? And then you go to Bugman, which is just saturation city. And you're like, what is happening? Coffee. And then you go into Coffee and TV, and it's just dark lyricism with an upbeat tone, upbeat sound. And you're like, all right, this is a ride. 1992, not a lot of lyricism, very simple. I think it's like a minute or two of vocals, and then the door opens to the instrumentation, and I thought it was quite moving. Some really rich sounds there. This album is full of rich sounds. I wasn't a huge fan of when it dived into the saturation too much. It just kind of sounded a bit tinny and not great on the headphones. I don't know if it's just the headphones. B.L.U.R.E.M.I, that sound in the chorus, it just did not connect with me. It really didn't. Unfortunately, Battle after that was another 7-minute long song, and you worry sometimes when you have these lengthy songs, are they going to hit? Are they going to be dragging on? I go back to Hours in Silence by Drake on the last album I listened to, and that one it lost me because it just went for too long. Battle probably was my favorite song on the album. I really enjoyed Battle. Just the way it kept going back to the chorus. Now the chorus subtly grew. You know, you had more instrumentation, very simple. And it goes back to that Gorillaz feel. I often reiterated on those reactions that there's small increments that build in their songs. And for this album, I felt that too. TrailerPark was another cool shift in sound and genre. I don't think it's as genre jumping as I'm probably making it out as, because there is cohesiveness in the sounds, but it's more where the songs end up taking you at varying points that feel different on each track. I'm glad I checked out Blur. Thank you guys for recommending this band, especially after listening to those Gorillaz projects. I think it was important for me to check out the starting point of Damon and the rest of these band members who, I don't know if any of them are on the Gorillaz now, but so I think that is the best way to react and review something, is just going in quite blind and just taking it in. So we do a little bit of everything, and that's the idea of the channel, is just experiment with different sounds and be open-minded and give everything a go. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I've been very, very lucky this year to be able to get so many awesome subs and awesome people just engaging and talking on the channel. It's been fantastic. And like I say in every video, if you are a returning viewer, you know it's always a pleasure. So thank you for joining me again. My name is K-Man Jack. This was 13 by Blur, a wild ride. Hope you guys take care, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.